Well, how about we dive in quickly to what we were privy to a little bit off air, and talk about Matt Murray first off, and what you were hearing regarding him and his goalpost there.
Yeah, so the Matt Murray goalpost thing has kind of become a meme amongst Leafs Twitter because he just happens to knock the net off the post, and it happened a lot like earlier in the season. I feel like it hasn't happened as often, but one of the big times it happened was in the game against Minnesota. I want to say it was an afternoon game where Wild fans were like going nuts and upset about it. So in the Philly game, there was a moment where like Murray, like mid game, it was actually pretty funny. He like turned his back to the play and was like fixing the net because it was loose, it was wobbly. But now it's kind of like blown up to the idea where apparently the league is like focusing on Murray and other goaltenders who are accidentally on purpose knocking nets off. And this came up from Michael Russo at The Athletic, and he wrote, it was noticed in the Situation Room last night that Murray was wiggling the net during TV timeout. League is actually testing nets coming up, but also clipping goalies taking nets off moorings and bringing examples to GM's meeting in March. Murray's net came off twice last night. So it's not only Murray that's like, it seems like he's getting the investigation, but investigation to call it that, but it seems like there is a hyper fixation on Murray knocking off the net. But I don't know, man. I think it's funny.
Yeah,
I don't think he's doing it on purpose. I mean, okay, there was one time where I'm like, yeah, he did that on purpose. I think it was after like an icing where the Leafs were being hemmed in and like they needed the breather. I watched it and I was like, yeah, you did that on purpose. But like some of them, especially in Philly, I don't think they're on purpose. But I don't know. I guess they're happening enough where like the league like kind of needs to step in. But
yeah,
seems that they want to pick and choose when they want to investigate things. Hey, we don't know what goalie interference is, and offside calls are like this small. But whatever, yeah, sure. Let's hyper focus on Murray.
Yeah, and as you said, the last game that he did it, even Craig Simpson on the broadcast was kind of defending, saying he just overcommits to the post and he's trying to catch that short side. But yeah, man, I think when it comes down to the sample size is like you do it once in one game, and then as you said, the Wild game was bad because I think it was 3 instances where it went down, and the one, as you said, was really bad. And then the one against Philly, and then he's caught in between play. But yeah, I think for Matt Murray, I think. Do you think he's gotten warned at some point this season prior to this, or do you think now it's more
100%? Yeah, 100%. They probably like the league has probably called Dubas and said like, "Hey, this is probably happening a little too often. Like, have a conversation with their goalie. Maybe Dubas comes down with Keefe. They have a conversation with the goalie coach. Like, is this just part of his technique? Is this happening? Whatever. Just know that the league is privy on it. Because again, like the game in Philly was like one of the first times in recent memory I remember this happening, because like there was a stretch where it was happening a lot and then it hasn't happened for a while. So this is like the first time in like a pretty good chunk of time where it's taking place. So I definitely do think that Murray's been warned and talked to, but I guess now I don't know, maybe it's going to be intensified.
Yeah. It's one of those tough things it's always going to be up for interpretation on. Is it on purpose? Is it not? These are big, strong men, obviously whipping back and forth in between the players.
He's a big dude.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He plays with that butterfly style. So I guess we'll see what comes out with it going forward, but definitely something to keep an eye on. That's for sure.
I'll probably get fined.
Yeah.
They fine us for everything.
Yeah.